Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Surprise Thursday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with, a first for me, the S.H.Figuarts Super Saiyan Full Power Son Goku. Thank you for watching this video or any of my other videos that you may have run across, which I hope is all of them. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews or just help the channel out further, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. And with all that said, let's get into it. Let's start our battle with a look at the packaging. And on the top, pretty much nothing but a window. Bit of product shot there that comes down to the front. And nice product shots all the way down there. Nice window showcasing the figure and some of his accessories. A hologram sticker there. And a shiny silver sticker there. S.H.Figuarts Super Saiyan Full Power Son Goku. And there it is again in, I'm assuming Japanese. I don't read Japanese, so there is that. Funimation, ages 15 and up. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole that don't belong there. Product may differ from photo. And then here we have some more Japanese that I don't read. Designed by Tamashii Nations in Japan. Bandai Spirits made in Vietnam print. Dragon Ball Z. Tamashii Nations. Bandai. And Toei Animation is the silver sticker. On the bottom, S.H.Figuarts Super Saiyan Full Power Son Goku. And then again in Japanese. And then there's some Japanese. And there's another product shot. On the side here. Nice product shots of the figure. S.H.Figuarts Super Saiyan Full Power Son Goku, and again in Japanese. And on this side window, Super Saiyan Full Power Son Goku, and there it is again in Japanese. S.H.Figuarts Super Saiyan Full Power Son Goku, and there it is again in some Japanese. On the back, some nice product shots, and it's not different than on the side and front, but different sizes. Super modeling, it says. Master fully crafted sculpt accurately depicts the character form in meticulous detail. And then there's all that again in Japanese, I guess. Super Saiyan Full Power Son Goku. Some Japanese. A full array of interchangeable hands and face parts allow for expressive portrayal of the anime. S.H.Figuarts simple style and heroic action. And there's some Japanese. And S.H.Figuarts is a standard action figure series that uses the art style and technology of Tamashii Nations to pursue character expression through humanoid action. And there's some other stuff in Japanese and a lot of other stuff in Japanese there. At least I'm assuming it's Japanese. It's Asian writing of some sort. I'm just assuming that it's Japanese. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole that don't belong there. For ages 15 and up. Bandai Namco, Caution, Bluefin, Namco Group, Bandai Namco Group. Tamashii Nations, Tamashii USA, made in Vietnam. And I think it's safe to say that's it for a look at the packaging, my friends. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And handy dandy tweezers, we'll start out with the accessories. And he does have 4 extra sets of hands. And we'll start out with this set, which is Karate Claw Fingers. I guess, I don't know what you would really call that, but I call it Karate Claw Fingers. And you know, they have some detail in them, some fingernails. I don't think there's any paint wash or anything on them. And then splayed energy blaster hands. set of splayed out fingers. Or a hand with splayed out fingers. Whatever. You guys know what I meant. So nice little details in there. And then a set of instant transmission hands. And Goku also comes with 3 alternate faces. Very, very nice looking, I think. And here we have the happy face. Oh, I forgot to call this one. This one is the "you're about to piss me off" face. Here's fighting face. And the figure comes with screaming power-up face. Or maybe that's bathroom after burrito face. I don't know. But let's take a look at the figure. I mean, the paint detailing in there is really, really nice. And then, you know, there are some paint apps on here, but a lot of it looks to be molded in color, and that's fine. Probably this is a paint app. This feels like a separate piece. This is probably paint. This is probably paint. It's probably all in that orange color. And then the boots are probably paint, except for... well, it might all be painted. All this might be paint. I'm not 100% sure, but it's really nice looking and spiky. There, it's pointy. So don't mash down on the pointy parts, because you may injure yourself. Camera's not wanting to focus. All right, let's take a look at his articulation. He can look up barely. He can look down that far. The head appears to be on maybe a dumbbell joint, and then the neck is also a separate piece, and it either is on a dumbbell or a ball joint here at the bottom. But he's got a little chicken neck. He will do the full exorcist, and he's got some waggle. Most of that's in the neck, though. Now, at the shoulder, full 360-degree rotation. This is a separate piece, and it will pop off if you need it to. But you move it out, and it allows the arm to come up this far. There is a butterfly joint in there. You can kind of see it in there. So it goes forward that far and back that far, and it does go up and down some too. Cut at the upper bicep for a full 360-degree rotation. Double hinged pinless elbow, and it's really no ratchets or anything. It doesn't really catch or anything either, like you might think of when you first open up a lot of figures. And that's the amount of bend you get out of it. And there you can see the joint. At the wrist, 360-degree rotation, and it is on one of those ball joints, and so that way, and you can move it around. And to change the hands out, you just pop them off and pop them back on. But you can see right there is the ball joint. Cut here at the mid abdomen. Ugh. One of these days I'll get it right. It does allow for hula hula. It does not twist 360 degrees. It will also, it's on, it works in conjunction with this cut at the waist to give you that much back bend and that much ab crunch, and then again all the hula motion, those work in tandem for that. You can get a full 360 degrees out of the waist, but this belt does hamper that a little bit, so just be aware of that. No drop down joint at the hip, at least not that I can tell. There's this piece right here that covers up the joint, and there's the joint in question. So he can give you that much of the splits. He kicks forward about 90 degrees and back. It does have a little outswing because of the butt, but you know, it can go even that far if you wanted it to. Now at this joint, there is no thigh cut, so to speak. But you do have some swivel here at this hip joint, or I guess maybe it is a thigh cut, but it's not cut. It's covered up in there. But it really, I guess you probably could do a full 360 with it, but it may make the leg pop off. Double hinged pinless knee, and it gives you that much bend, which is really good. And you know, it's like the sculpt kind of makes up for it, and it really doesn't look that bad. The joint here does stick out though. No rotations down here, and no swivel at the knee. As far as the ankles go, you got tilt down that far, tilt up that far, and it's not really, it has rocker, but it's not on a forward facing pin. I think it's like a dumbbell joint is what it looks like in there to me. So, but it also will give you rotation, and it'll go forwards and back a little bit also. Now at the toe, he does have toe tilt, and it tilts up that far, and it does tilt down just slightly. Now as far as changing the face plates out, let's put this one on. And how you do that is pretty simple and it's pretty ingenious. But right here, the top part of his hair, it pulls off, and you can see there's two little pegs right here and two ports right here. And then you can pull the face off, and it pegs in also, two pegs and two ports. We'll set that off to the side, and you just line the pegs up with the ports where they go. Try not to mash on the back of the hair because it's really spiky and it will poke you. And then you put the hair back on after you've got the face plate on. Just make sure you get it in there all the way again. Try not to mash where the spikes of the hair are. And that, my friends, is a look at the figure. Who doesn't want to stand up now? The figure and his accessories. Now it's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the S.H.Figuarts Full Power Super Saiyan Goku. And then we have these two are Dragon Stars. This is the Super Saiyan Goku on the version 1 body, and this is Super Saiyan Blue Goku on the version 2 body. And as you can see, as it spins around, you can see they tried to cover up the pins here a little better. You can still see them a little bit, but they at least gave a separate piece on the shoulders, much like this one. Now this figure, they really did an excellent job at hiding the articulation for the most part. I mean, you can still tell where the articulation is, like, and you know, this is probably one of the most obvious, is the back of the knees, but not as obvious as the Dragon Stars. And as far as the articulation goes, you know, they pretty much share the same articulation. The Figuarts, I will generally give a better range of motion to on the articulation, but they're pretty much the same. The details on the Figuarts, of course, are much sharper in the mold, or the sculpt and the paint, whereas in some places the Dragon Star series can be soft in the sculpt department. Now, one thing that the Dragon Star series has that the Figuarts don't have, at least on this figure, is they have a drop down hinge in the hips, in the legs, that will allow for a better range of motion, and it's much like the G.I. Joe Classified series from Hasbro's drop down hinge in that leg hip area. Again, like the paint for the faces is, you know, they're all good, but it does seem like, I don't know if it has better paint, or I'm not sure exactly. Maybe more paint apps on the Figuarts, which is what you would expect from a premium figure. But you know, the face looks much sharper than the other two, and it's not that the Dragon Stars look bad. They don't. They actually look really good, even compared to this Figuarts. But you can see, like, the differences are really noticeable. This one looks much sharper in detail and in paint, where the paint apps are, and they do a much better job at hiding the articulation. You know, pinless elbows, pinless knees. And so. But that's really all I have to show you with the differences in the two different brands of figure, I guess you could call it. And I guess we've seen enough of Goku spinning around here, so let's get some other figures out here to compare him with. Here we have the Figuarts Full Power Super Saiyan Goku with Dragon Stars series Super Saiyan Vegeta version 2. Just like the Goku, they have a version 1 and a version 2 of their molds. This is the version 2. And Piccolo with cape. And here we have the Full Power Super Saiyan Goku with the Dragon Stars Lord Beerus and the Dragon Stars Kid Buu. And I will say this, I think the Dragon Stars Beerus skews a little on the small side. I think he should actually be a lot taller, at least in, you know, like, he should be as tall as Goku, and then his ears should make him taller, even than Goku's hair. Here we have Full Power Super Saiyan Goku with the Dragon Stars series First Form Frieza, which is one of my favorite Dragon Stars figures out of all the ones that I have. He's actually one of the most fun to pose around and stuff. And then here he is also with the Dragon Stars Golden Frieza. Not quite as much fun to pose around and stuff. Here we have Full Power Super Saiyan Goku with the Dragon Star series Final Form Cooler and Dragon Star series Perfect Cell. And how does he compare up with other lines? Well, here we have Full Power Super Saiyan Goku with the Marvel Legends making his cameo appearance, of course, Stan the Man Lee. And from the G.I. Joe Classified series, we have the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. And for our final set of comparisons, here we have Full Power Super Saiyan Goku with Star Wars The Black Series Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch comparison, we have him with the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse 3 Jokers, the Joker the Clown. For final thoughts on the S.H.Figuarts, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but there it is. Full Power Super Saiyan Son Goku. I have to say, I'm impressed with this figure. The amount of detail in the sculpt, even though, you know, I mean, it doesn't have to have a lot of details, but it just seems to me that there are a lot, and they're all pretty sharp. There's no real softness to this mold at all. Even as I may have pointed out earlier, even the hair is so spiky, it will poke you. And it hurts if you handle the figure incorrectly while changing out the faceplates. The fact that it does have different faces, you know, that kind of helps me justify the price difference in the figures. But you're looking at a minimum on this, which is one of the lower ended priced S.H.Figuarts figures at $35. You're looking at about $14 to $15 difference. And even though he comes with 3 additional sets of hands and 3 additional faces, I'm not sure that that's enough, even combined with the better hidden articulation. I don't know if that's really a justified price difference. Now, I will say, if the whole line was priced like this one in particular, then, you know, it would be more attractive to me as a consumer, as a collector. But when you have pre-orders for some of the figures, like, and when I say some of the figures, I'm talking about larger figures, like let's see, Imperfect Cell or First Version Cell, the skinny one, you know, $75. That seems a little exorbitant to me. But that's me. Your opinion may vary, and that's okay, because I don't have anything against this line, especially after having gotten my hands on one, just to really, you know, compare it out with how it stacks up with Dragon Stars. And I have to say, there are some areas that Dragon Stars compared to this could improve, but not for the price point. Yeah, you see the pins, and that's probably something that they could have fixed early on in the line and give them pinless elbows and knees. And maybe one day we will see it in the line. You know, as time goes on and they run out of stuff to do and they start rehashing characters, which, you know, most Dragon Ball lines end up doing that. But again, you know, I like this figure. I enjoy it. It's really fun to mess with, and the range of motion for it, even though a lot of the articulation is the same, this one does have better range of motion in places, and it does make a difference. It might not be a huge difference for some people. And I will say that the Dragon Star series, the one advantage that it has over these, and everybody might not agree with this, but I like the fact that they have that drop down hinge in the hips, similar to the G.I. Joe Classified series. And if this figure had that bit of articulation, then it's, you know, it would rule the roost all the way around on the range of motion for the articulation. But again, you know, it does have better range of motion. A lot of the bends, especially in the knees, are much better than a lot of the Dragon Star series. And again, that's not to say that I'm not putting Dragon Star series down. I'm not elevating S.H.Figuarts. When it comes to Dragon Ball, you know, if this was the only line that I collected, then you know, I might be able to switch over to S.H.Figuarts. But seeing as how it's just a small part of what I collect, yeah, I'm gonna have to stick with the Dragon Star series, because I think you get value for your price point. And yes, this one has better range of motion. It does have more accessories, and generally overall, you know, a sharper sculpt. You know, there's no soft spots in this sculpt. It's all very sharp, and it really does put you in mind of the source material. At least, and when I say, I'm talking about the anime when I say the source material, because I think that's what this is more based on rather than the manga or manga, however you prefer to pronounce it. But overall, I would have to say it is a great figure, and I can see why people who collect, you know, just maybe one or two types of figures would go for this over the more value level figures, if that's what you want to call them. Now, I will say this: the Dragon Star series, when it comes to the packaging, the Dragon Star series outside packaging feels much more premium to me. It looks more premium to me than the Figuarts packaging. That's a little different with, you know, on the inside, when, you know, everything has its individual space, and then, you know, it has another layer of plastic that seals up over the top of that, and then the window in the cardboard packaging. So, but as far as the outside packaging goes, you know, Dragon Star series really, it takes that for me. Now, if you collect in package, you know, you keep stuff mint on card, or at least you try to, then Dragon Stars might be a better way to go for you. Now, I will say the Figuarts packaging is much smaller. The figures, as you can see from comparisons, they're the same size. But I think when it comes to Dragon Star series, you know, they have one box that has to fit every size figure. So that's why there's might be a little bit on the bigger side. But again, yeah, I've probably rambled on for long enough on this figure. It's a great figure. If you're into figure arts, then you're probably not going to give two craps about the Dragon Star series unless, you know, they've got something that you can only find in figure arts on the secondary market for sky-high prices. Again, as far as, you know, scale goes, they scale up together pretty well, in my opinion. Except for Beerus. Lord Beerus he just feels too small. Even compared to the other Dragon Stars series, he seems too small. But again, I've rambled on too long. Great figure. If you're into these, then pick it up. If you've never messed with one, and you found one like I did, one of the lower price end ones that want to check it out, you know, it's a good experience, and you get a feel for what the difference is between the lines. But that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews, or just help the channel out further, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.